Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. A couple things I'd like to touch on as we get this week started are regards to the SEC and Ripple case. I'll cover this ad nauseum, but it seems like to some people. For others, everything, changes daily, and hopefully I'm keeping up as much as others in the space have. James K. Filan, who's a great person to follow on Twitter, shared this infographic last Friday, which had some 4 key dates for the SEC Ripple lawsuit. Today being Ripple's response to the SEC's emergency motion for a discovery conference regarding Slack communications and any motion to seal exhibits filed with that motion. That we'll hear more on that today. The other key date is tomorrow, and that is the SEC's response to Ripple's motion for a discovery conference regarding the SEC's improper assertion of the deliberative process privilege and any motion to seal exhibits filed with that motion. So what they're talking about here is first, Slack communications. There may be something that the SEC is looking for with regard to communications that Ripple had with clients internally. I'm not exactly sure what angle they have on there. But the other thing is the sealing of exhibits, namely the William Hinman deposition that we know took place. Now, looking ahead, August 31st, fact discovery deadline, order granting letter motion for extension of time to complete discovery, and the deadline to conduct that discovery is extended to that date. And then expert discovery deadline, which is set for October 15th. So again, this is great stuff. I mean, it's, a way to better track and make sense of what's going on. And thank you, James K. Fallon, for sharing that. Moving over to my man, Jeremy Hogan, Legal Briefs. Here's what he had to say yesterday regarding the direction where this lawsuit's going.
But now it seems that the SEC is not willing to recognize that the regulation by litigation model doesn't work in the crypto world. And that's especially true where it takes years before enforcement actions are brought. In the 8 years before enforcement was brought against Ripple, you have millions of US citizens who have put in time, energy, money into projects involving XRP, and now all of that time and energy are at risk by the very entity that is supposed to protect them. The protector has become the harmer.
That is a very interesting point. He put there among the many that Jeremy Hogan from Legal Briefs puts out. There are many angles to look at this, and I will tell you this now, just as I would be speculating about anything financial. Hogan, with as much expertise as he has, certainly in just giving a great narrative and a play-by-play of the case and what's going on, he certainly is, making a, assumption just based on what's happening. But when I wrap up here, I'm going to kind of give you what my prediction is, and so part of it goes with what's happened with XRP over the last 7 days. We saw a jump this past weekend, and it just seems to be going up regardless of what's happening with the Ripple case. So it's operating outside what would otherwise seem to be guardrails set up by the lawsuit. So keep that in mind, just the jump that has happened and how it just the market seems to have a mind on its own. Not only regarding this, but also the infrastructure bill, which I'm going to drop a video on here soon. Now, James K. Filan, he also, shared the attorney's letter to Judge Netburn, and this was mid last week. And what I did in another video is I highlighted Mary Jo White, who is just a dynamite TNT attorney to bring into the lawsuit on behalf of Ripple. And I mean, she didn't start yesterday, but she has been around. But from the same firm is Lisa Zornberg, called the Tiny Tornado. That is her nickname, according to her bio on Deborah Voice Plimpton's website. Educated at Harvard, both in law and her BA. And, both she and White have a similar background of litigation with regard to both criminal and civil investigations. It seems as though a lot of hers were on the federal level with the FCPA, which is the Federal Corrupt Practices Act, and RICO violations, terrorism, public corruption, construction fraud, you name it. And so just one of the other players in the space. I couldn't find any videos that are as exciting to watch as that of Mary Jo White. But here's my take on where we go from here. I think we're at a point in many of us in the XRP Army, some that are just tuning in, may or may not know this thing basically started the end of 2020. And so this saga has carried on the entire year when Jay Clayton left office. I believe a settlement is going to occur. Here's why. Besides what BitBoy Crypto had said the other day about possible settlement and rumored to having a settlement by mid-September, it seems as though we're kind of at this point where it's what's referred to as a Mexican standoff, where you've got two people pointing the guns at each other. Who's going to pull the trigger first? Whatever the case may be, the ending will not be pretty. And it seems it's what we have going on here with the deposition of William Hinman, and also the SEC just pushing back beyond what their initial intent was with this lawsuit, which was to call it a security. We're now working outside of that, and it just seems to be all over the place. The fact that Judge Netburn has had this go on this long, I find it interesting. Again, I'm no attorney, but it's really interesting to see where things have gone and up until this point. But let's get down to it. The SEC, primarily Jay Clayton, said that XRP is a security. Dropping that lawsuit in December and taking nearly 8 months to prove it shows that, at least to me, that there's absolutely nothing the SEC has on Ripple. And if it did, you had January, February, March, April, May, June, all the way through where we're at mid-August to prove that it's a security and add clarity. And if the SEC is as clear as both Gary Gensler and Jay Clayton have said, case is closed. But there's not clarity. And so therefore, I think that this thing has got to be settled here soon. Regardless, I'm just happy to see that XRP is moving up. So we shall see what happens this week on moving forward. That's all I got for this episode of Desert Sun Crypto. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you soon.